Please be seated. The court is now back in session. Again, the floor is given to the defense counsel for Nguyen Chia to put further questions to the witness.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just one brief follow-up question, Mr. Witness, in respect of C. Maybe in English translation it wasn't completely understood by me, but is it correct that you said that Prak Chun's wife is still alive, and that she was married at the same time as C, the daughter of Sao Pim?
I do not know when she got married, because I didn't see it.
That's fine, Mr. Witness. Talking about Prak Chuk, who was the chairperson of your defense unit, was he Sao Pim's nephew?
Prak Chuk was a distant nephew, not a direct line nephew.
Do you know when Prak Chuk was arrested and where he was arrested?
I do not recall when he was arrested. However, he was arrested in Suong. And in fact, staff of our office was arrested there, and Prak Yut went there in order to resolve a matter. However, it turned out that he himself was arrested, but I cannot recall the date of his arrest. It happened a long time ago.
If the Chamber is interested, document E3/2014 says that Prak Chuk was arrested on the 26th of May 1978, English ERN 01305698. Mr. Witness, one last question about Prak Chuk. Is it correct that Sao Pim trusted Prak Chuk? Is that something that you said to DC Cam?
Yes, that is correct.
A question about the name Prak. Was Sao Pim at one point in time also called Prak, but then not Prak Chun, but Prak Cham, C-H-A-M?
I heard other people said that initially Sao Pim's name was Prak Cham.
Did Sao Pim have a sister who was called Prak Chun, C-H-A-N? HUN.
I am not sure about that name because he was old and only other people would know about their native names. In the village there were his elder siblings and one younger sibling, and I only know these three people. Chun was chief of a cooperative in the district, and another person was a Pratat. I only know these two.
The reason I'm asking about Prak Chun is because you talked about her to the interviewers of DC Cam on English ERN 013 533 78 and 79, and Khmer 013 40578 and 9. You said Sopim's eldest sister was very strict. The people were very much mistreated by her. And you said that even the district governor was afraid of that old woman. Is that something you said about Sopim's sister?
Yes, that is correct.
And that she was in charge of a cooperative called the Kokir Saum Cooperative, KOKIRSAOM.
Yes, that is correct. The person was the chief of the Kokisam cooperative.
Before I go to another brother of Sopim, the younger brother, Praktit, one question about, again, another brother of Sopim, who was the district chief of Chlung, Dul, D-U-L. Is that someone you knew?
I know Dul. Dul is in fact a Pratat. His previous name was Dul or Tat Dul.
Then that mystery is solved. Thank you very much for the clarification. And let me ask you some questions about Dul or Praktit. Is it correct? No, let me rephrase. Did you say that Praktit was the chief of the district police of Crouchmar?
He was not chief of police, but he wants to become chief of Kruchma district. And he was chief of that district.
I might have confused that. Indeed, your DC Chem statement, let me refer to the particular page, document E3/10716, English ERN 013 53315 and Khmer 013 40539, where you speak about Sopim's younger brother, Praktit alias Dul. Indeed, you're saying that he was in charge of the Crouchmar district, but was he, after 1979, chairperson of the Svai Theep district police?
Yes, he was chief of Svai Theep district police.
So, is it correct then that he managed to escape to Vietnam at one point in time in May 78?
I did not know about what happened in 1978 because at that time I was sent to Saang, Koh Thum, so everybody was separated.
Do you know from when until when Praktit or Dul was the Crouchmar district chief? When did he become that, and when did he stop being the chief of Crouchmar district?
I know that he stopped it when the East Zone people were arrested.
So, to be precise, was he district chief all the way up until May 78?
I cannot recall that detail because people fled and separated when they started the arrest, and I did not know about him.
I understand. As you might know, Crouchmar was liberated already, I believe, in 1970. Was Dul or Praktit Crouchmar district chief from the very beginning, from 1970, or did he become district chief later?
I didn't know when he started doing that work because I arrived there in 1976, and I did not know as from when he began that work.
I understand, but when you arrived in 76, was he already Crouchmar district chief?
Yes.
Do you know anything about events that took place in 1974, September, October 1974, and also in 1975? Events about a rebellion of Cham forces and the subsequent crushing of that Cham rebellion in places like Tree Village. Do you know anything about the crushing of the Cham rebellion in Crouchmar?
No, I was not aware of that because I was not there in 1974.
Let me read something to you from a book of an Australian scholar, and I will ask you whether that is something that you heard as well. Mr. President, that is Ben Keenan's book, E3/1593, English ERN 011501139, French 00639-033, and Khmer 006377771. A high-ranking post-79 communist cadre, Hem Samin, Hemsamin, is being interviewed by Keenan, and this is what this Australian scholar writes, and let me quote. Hem Samin, a Hanoi-trained communist, blames the Zone CPK Secretary So Pim for the first repression of local Chams. Quote, "It was he who signed the orders for Phung, P-H-U-O-N-G, to kill the Chams in Tri in 1974. He was nasty." End of quote. Phung, we just discussed, the little person on that photo I showed you. Do you know anything about this? Maybe something that you heard after 1979, that So Pim signed the orders for Phung to crush the East Zone Cham Rebellion?
I did not hear or know about that because nobody told me anything about that.
That's no problem. Thank you, Mr. Witness. One or two additional questions in relation to So Pim's brother, younger brother, Dul or Praktit. When you mention him in your DC Cam statement, you mention him in connection with a person named Mao Pok, English ERN 013-53315, Khmer 013-40539. Mao Pok. Who was Mao Pok?
Might be as for Mao Po, I am not familiar, but there is one person, Mao Po, who was at the staff office. I do not know about this Mao Po.
It's absolutely my mispronunciation. I apologize, Mr. Witness. Maybe I can ask my colleague from the Q-Santon team, national colleague, to read that name, just to make sure that we pronounce it correctly.
Kong On, thank you. And the name is Mao Pok. Thank you.
You refer to him in your DC Cam statement, and this is what you said when you talk about Dul, or you said he was also arrested, but he fled into the forest. He fled into the forest with Mao Pok. Can you expand a little bit on that?